Zach, good to see you again, man. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, howdy.
I mean, the great American baking show Celebrity Holiday is back on Roku. You're back doing your hosting duties, which is really exciting. I always feel like it's kind of cool because, last year that was the first time you did it for Roku and everything. So, new co-host this year, Casey Wilson. But how did it feel kind of coming back? Did you kind of feel a bit more kind of used to being a host? Like, what was that like for you returning?
Yeah, definitely, it did feel I was a little more comfortable coming in. I kind of knew what to expect. But then you also have the fact that it's totally new bakers, a new set of bakers. So it was also still very surprising and a totally different experience in that way.
An ironic time for this interview, right? Where it's like Halloween.
Yeah, a true holiday.
No, it's one of those things too where it's like, very quickly, we're going to be in the holiday zone. Like it's going to hit us like tomorrow, probably.
Yeah, I know. As soon as Halloween's done, those gourds come out.
Absolutely. I love the idea of, it being a kind of competition, but you're not competing. You're kind of observing and everything. When you're watching these, celebrities kind of bake off and everything, do you want to kind of get in there and like be part of it, or are you okay kind of hosting and just checking it out from afar?
That's funny. I would say it's a little bit of both. There are times where I'm definitely like, ooh, it would be kind of fun to like try my hand at this. Some of the technical challenges, or sometimes I'm like, I wonder how bad I would do. But then there are other times where I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to like rush to cool my cake and then, get the frosting on it. So in a lot of ways, it is nice to be able to kind of take a step back and just relax while they do all the hard work.
By the time this interview is out, well, like it's gonna be like closer to release and everything, so we're good. I mean, there were some celebrity bakers, and it's exciting to kind of talk about them. And what was it like kind of seeing this new crop of celebrity bakers?
It was a lot of fun. They were a very jubilant bunch in the tent. I think they were. I don't know 100%, but I think they may have been the first group of contestants to sprint into the tent at full speed every time, like both days that we did. Normally the contestants sort of slowly walk in and there's like a beautiful shot of them making their way into the idyllic tent. But these celebrities were ready to go. They had so much energy.
So I find it interesting because, people are familiar with, these type of shows and events and everything and these competitions. And I'm just curious because you did this last year and you return now for this season and doing it again. How much of it felt like a continuation compared to like it being like its own different thing? Because like you said, there's different contestants, different hosts. Like I'm curious about the experience for you. Like, did it feel like we're picking up where we left off, or did it feel like a whole new kind of experience for you?
I'd say it felt a little bit like, maybe it felt a little bit like coming back to summer camp again after a year away at school where, you're in the same place and there's a lot of familiar faces, but there's also some new people and you kind of know what's going on, but maybe there's some new things being tried. But yeah, I think that's probably the best explanation I could give of how it felt to come back.
What can we expect without too much details about, like what were the kind of, challenges like and the certain dishes that needed to be made? Like anything different since last time you were on, or did it feel kind of the same? Like what can you tell us? Give us a little, so cheesy, but give us a little taste.
Sure. Happy to. I would say, I think it was almost there were a lot of new bakes, definitely a lot of new bakes, but in the same areas that you're used to. You have your bread, you have your pastries, you have your cakes, your cookies, but the specific bakes I think they might not have been totally new, but it was a lot of it was new. I was very excited each week to be like, oh, this is what we're doing.
What was it like kind of seeing the set? That's my favorite part about the show. Like just seeing everything, all the decorations. Like that's the coolest thing in my opinion. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of food and everything, but like I just loved how everything looked. I'm just saying.
You're totally right. Especially for the holiday special, they really, they got a big tree. There's presents. There's lights. And then on top of that, you're in the kind of like iconic baking show tent that you've seen so many, people bake in. It's very cool to step into that space.
In your opinion, what was your favorite thing about this competition specifically from a host slash viewer perspective? Because you and Casey are looking at everything, right, and seeing it all like the audience, which I think is pretty cool.
I think my favorite thing is the way. Well, I really do. I get a lot of joy, every time about watching bakers who love to bake and like kind of nerd out and geek out with each other about the very, like I use this kind of flour, I make, that kind of thing goes totally above my head, but they're so into it. I love watching that. And I do also love the balance the contestants always seem to strike between they do want to win and they're trying really hard and they're competitive, but they also are so supportive of each other and will help each other out in moments. I really enjoy watching that every time I'm in the tent.
And you and Casey did an amazing job hosting. It was awesome. So I can't wait for people to see it. And it's the Great American Baking Show Celebrity Holiday on the Roku channel, November 10th. They're going to be able to check that out. Zach, good to see you again, man. Thank you for coming back on the show.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.